wow, look at that giant skeleton compared to that person. But you're smart enough to realise, I hope, that just like crop circles, where the secret people such as the MI5 deliberately paid people to debunk and go out and make fake crop circles, this same thing happened here with a website where they asked people to create fake photoshopped versions of giant skeletons to muddy the water, so that when anyone looks for it, they'll say, oh, well, it was an internet contest, and therefore every giant is a hoax. But you're smarter than that. So let's just have a look now. These are genuine articles from before internet was around, 1900s and 1800s, talking about giants, more giants there. Now this one's interesting because I mentioned native Indians in a previous video about giants, and of course there's some there. These ones, giants of this size were not uncommon back in ancient times. In fact, if you see where the knee is and the height of the person there, the saying cut them down to size is actually derived from that, when you would cut the person's the giant's knees to try and bring them down to your size as opposed to them being that size. But there's a site here called medium.com, and it goes through a list of different proven locations of giants and how tall they were. 7 foot is obviously tall, but we're not talking giants. But when you scroll down and you see other ones that 24 to 27 foot tall, that's the footprint there. But there's other ones as well if you keep going down. So you know, you have to sort of use a bit of logic here and say, okay, well, if these are genuine, which they were genuine reports back then of these massive giants, there's one there's 11 foot. Don't mess with the redheads. Now, this isn't a Scottish redhead. This is actually a giant killing or trying to kill a military person. Now, this is just obviously a drawing, but the story goes well, I've heard 2 eyewitnesses who worked for the military talk about this incident fairly recently in Kandahar, I think it's called, in Afghanistan, in a cave. They came across this giant and he had a spear. And obviously the military people shot him because that's what they do, and they flew the body away in a helicopter, or underneath a helicopter should I say, and they probably are now using that body to try and create super soldiers. But the redhead's not uncommon in the giant stories. A lot of them are redheads, and they even have double rows of teeth, and possibly sometimes some of the giants had 6 fingers. So you add all this together with the possibility of deformed cyclops. Is this an ancient human giant, or is this a mastodon or some other creature? Scientists can't actually agree, but it was found in 1845 and it's got some sort of deformities to it. So going along with the ancient giants that I was talking about of the Bible, etc. And yes, don't quote me on the Bible, because we know the Bible's a copy of the original texts back in the day. So let me know, I'm doing a poll here, let me know if you think giants actually existed in ancient times or not. Oh my, is that another reptilian alien? No, it's just a 7'7" skeleton of Charles Byron, I think his name was, 200 years ago. No, the picture wasn't taken 200 years ago. But the Queen there's visiting. And now people say there's no such things as giants in the past. Well, technically, anyone over 7 foot is classed as a giant. So you've got this guy here. No, that's not me. This guy here is 7'9", so obviously he's a giant. So there's loads of giants walking around on Earth at the moment. So next time you say there's no such thing as giants, technically they're living right now. So why can't they have lived in the past?